Hey guys, Curtis Alexander. What is the best supplement to take if you have irritable bowel or ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease? In this video, I'm going to talk about one supplement that's thrown around a lot as being very good for all these. I'll look at the pros. We'll talk about what it is, what it does in your body, including the pros and the cons. And at the end of the video, I'm going to kind of give you my dosage recommendation if it's something that you think would be the right move for you. So, first of all, what is this thing, this supplement that we're talking about? Well, it's taurine. Okay. Taurine has been shown in studies that if it's low, and in particular, less than, say, 200 nanograms per milliliter, that's kind of the mark that we see. If you start getting below that, we tend to see very low levels in folks who have these three diseases that I talked about before. So it makes sense that potentially supplementing with it could help. Now, what do we see? What are some of the pros? Well, first of all, it's very involved. Taurine is very involved in your bile acids. Okay, now bile acids are very important for digestion as well as a number of other functions. But a big thing that you're going to see is bile acids can help you fight microbes in your digestive tract. The other thing that we can see is that taurine, in addition to being incorporated into bile acids, taurine itself can have an antimicrobial effect in the gut. Okay. Which obviously is important. I've made other videos before talking about one of the hallmarks that you see in folks with GI issues is they have gut dysbiosis, meaning overgrowth of bad bacteria, not enough good bacteria, those sorts of things. The other thing, the other reason taurine is very good or can potentially be good for some of these things is it tends to increase metabolism. Now, one of the things that we see is that if you have a slow metabolism, you're generally not going to have good GI health because you don't have enough energy to digest food, cellular energy to digest food, to move food through the GI tract. So it leads to a number of issues that can be problematic. So, in people complaining of digestive issues, taurine can be helpful. However, there are some potential cons, some negatives that you need to think about. The first one is as far as when we take taurine in certain people, it can cause positive effects in bile acids, but also negative as far as bile acid absorption. Okay. Now, I would consider this a little bit on the rare side, but there are people who come to me and they're like, "Hey, I tried taurine. I didn't feel well at all. It almost made me feel worse." And that's probably one of those folks who it's affecting their bile acid absorption. Okay. The other thing that we can see is an increased formation of hydrogen sulfide um, type bacteria, and that can also lead to issues. So, how do you know if you're this person? It's going to be very difficult to tell. You're probably just going to have to try taurine and see how you do. But if you have these sorts of reactions where you almost feel worse, you're probably in this boat. Now, another mixed thing that I want to talk about, okay, is DHT. Now, DHT is extremely important. It's basically made from testosterone, and it's a very potent androgen. It's actually more potent than testosterone. However, it gets a bad rap. I don't want to get too hung up on DHT, but the bottom line is there are studies showing that taurine supplementing can decrease DHT, which in a lot of people's minds is going to help with hair loss. I don't necessarily buy into that theory. There is other studies showing the exact opposite, that they've seen DHT increases. So my point in saying this is, you're going to see this stuff bannered around a lot. Its effects on DHT. The bottom line is there's mixed results. There's mixed studies about what it does, but most of them do show a decrease in DHT. This is something I would not want personally, again, because it's an androgen that makes you feel better, less anxious, but it's tied to this hair loss thing. So most people are focused on, well, I want less DHT. If that's you, just know the risk that you're taking. If taurine does decrease DHT, and you may have less drive. You may have a lot of these low testosterone type symptoms. So I just wanted to put that out there. Now, if you feel like you want to try taurine to see if it helps you, what I would do is just start at, say, 500 milligrams a day. I wouldn't go beyond that. Again, I would start low, primarily because of some of these side effects we talked about. If you're at risk for those, it may make things worse in you. So I'd start at 500, see how you do. If you, I do talk about other ways you can improve your gut health. I do that in my free checklist. Plenty of other things you can and maybe should be doing. These don't rely on drugs, don't rely on surgery, and people have had very good luck with them. So make sure to go grab that. I have a link in the description. Again, guys, if you have questions on this video, something I didn't cover, or another sort of topic related to this that would be helpful for me to cover in a video, let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to that in the future. I hope this one was helpful, you guys. I'll see you in the next one.